Hola, future engineers. I'm going to keep this nice and short and sweet for you. And just in case you need a refresher on what a design brief is and what my expectations are for this assignment. So just sit back, relax, and focus unbroken what I'm about to say. Here we go. The design brief in all of its glory. A design brief, what is this? All right, so basically it's like a document between a client and a design team so that everybody is on the same page for a product before that product exists. Okay, it doesn't have to just be engineers, it's all sorts of professions use a design brief. They're saying, hey, before you begin, these are the things that we have to agree upon before you start developing a solution. So that's what you are going to do. You are going to create a design brief, and it is going to be kind of the shell in which or under which you are designing the solution to the problem that you have selected. Okay, its purpose is to provide accountability. So basically, like, for the designers, to make sure that like, hey, when the product comes, you can be like, hey, remember that thing that we agreed upon? We had a deal. So it's kind of like a contract in a way. This document is made by many different professions. Yeah, I kind of mentioned that. So basically, it's just kind of like a document that is like an agreement between the client, the person paying, and the people designing. Sometimes a design could take a very long time, and so and it can be very, very expensive. If you're paying these people thousands upon thousands of dollars, you want some sort of kind of written document that states what the design's going to look like ish, or what we want it to be able to do. What does a successful design look like? Like if someone like said, hey, I want a cell phone that's like new and cutting edge, and someone turned in a microwaved grilled cheese sandwich, it'd be like, well, looks like you cut this at an angle here, but not the cutting edge that I was meaning. So anyways, your design brief should be typed in complete sentences, should look professional, contain a heading, content is organized. I've already taken care of that for you, and I'll show you. It should naturally include the following: your company's name, what problem do you plan to solve, and the following important information about the problem. Who is your audience? Age, gender, location, occupation, income level, so on and so forth. Why do they need this problem solved? And how many people does this problem affect? So you're going to answer all these questions, and you're going to take a guess at some of those. And I know you might not know the answer necessarily, but I want you to really expand your mind and think about all the people that this might affect. I don't take answers like everybody. There is a focus group. Even if a problem really does affect everybody, there's a group of people that it affects the most. So that's the group that you're looking for. What attempts to solve this problem have already happened? Who's your competition? Make sure you know the deadline for an upcoming solution, and what are the guidelines for those solutions? So great, fantastic. If you're developing an electronic device, one of the guidelines for a solution that's an electronic device is going to be, it has to interact with a 120 volt electrical reciprocal, and you could say like receptacle, you could say like US Canada electrical receptacle. So that's like a guideline that exists for that. Or maybe you're designing a cup to drink something out of, or you're designing some sort of beverage. Maybe it should fit in the standard cup holder width. So there are all these guidelines, like for example, a stove in your kitchen. Most stoves and washers and dryers have like this fixed measurement that they fit in, right? Wouldn't it suck if you were designing a new stove, and you made it an inch wider than everybody's recessed nooks in their kitchens? They would have to demo their kitchen and do a bunch of work to get it to fit. So see if there are any guidelines for your product, and what those guidelines are. So good to know. let's see here. 3 measurable criteria. I mean, I would say E and F are the most important questions. What are the measurable criteria for success? How do you know whether your design will have been successful? Has to be measurable, meaning something you can get a number from. Now, is it comfortable? Is that something you can measure? I think so. Yeah, I think so. You can measure comfortability. You could have people test it out and rate it for you. So yeah, there are ways to measure comfortability, I think. Will you create a high-end or a low-end product? Why? Okay, high-end or low-end. Is this something that's meant to be like maybe consumable and used up? Is this something that's meant to last a long time? I think that's kind of separate maybe from your target audience a lot of times. So just make sure you explain yourself and really follow up on these why questions. Okay, so I've made for you a template. You can copy and paste this into your own Google document. I've got it color coded for you. So you can just come in here and fill out. I've put text in some of the locations as a placeholder, but you can come and fill out these sections. Remember, I do want your answers in complete sentences. So it's all the questions from above. Why do these people need this problem solved? How many people does this problem affect? Now, I want to stress here that nowhere on the design brief do you actually put your design. You are putting the guidelines and constraints for your design. Who does it affect? How do I know my design will be successful? It should solve the problem in this way, and this way. So on here, you are not describing the solution. You're describing the problem. You're describing what other people have done for the problem. You are describing the guidelines, like what pre-existing guidelines exist for this problem, and how will you know if it is successful? Okay, I think I've repeated myself enough. Guys, that's what the design brief is. You can copy and paste this template into your own Google Doc. If you want to print it out at home and write out by hand and then take a picture and turn it in, you can print off this last page. So I hope this is kind of exciting for you. I hope that this helps your brain wrap your head around every little tiny tidbit about your invention, or helps maybe bring your the best solution to the problem to light as you are writing down your problems. Super. Thanks for watching.